All right, we are live
We
talking
share we share link.
H. Yeah, go ahead and tweet, or I can tweet it out. Give
I
me a
was about to
second.
say, where are we?
Give me a second. Let me do the tweets. Let me do the tweets in the. Well, I'm not on Facebook, so I don't have to do the Facebooks.
Oh, I found it. Never mind. We good. We
Here we
Gucci.
go. We are live. We are live on a Friday night
We
because
got nothing better to do.
I have nothing else better to do. Exactly. Oh gosh. Mr. Zimmerman in the house. What's going on? Michael in the house. What's going on? Happy Halloween Horror Nights 30 announcement, everybody.
It's March and it feels so good.
Oh, it felt so good. It just like I couldn't rub the smile off of my face for
I couldn't
like
rub the face off my face.
I couldn't rub my face off. Um no,
I was just at work and I was just like, good.
well, the funny thing is us, me, you, and Barry, we have like a private Facebook chat.
Yeah.
And Barry was like, "Oh, the
Barry
HHN
was
30
so
announcement."
nonchalant about
I was like,
it.
"Okay, post something, tweet something." He was like, "Oh, they're starting the HHN announcements." I was
No,
like,
Barry literally goes, good. That was
"Yeah."
it.
I was
I
like,
love
"Okay,
Barry.
not a big deal. Just Halloween Horror Nights 30's announced. Just
Meanwhile, like you and me are like running in circles with like sirens going on in the background as
I
we're
was
like
like
trying to get it out.
throwing my phone in circles, and Emily was like, "Blog post article." Oh,
I'm just
hello.
very happy that like they released pictures with that because I didn't know what else to put in there.
I didn't even know. I didn't even get a chance to go to the website, which I have up here, and I haven't even gone to it yet to kind of explore it. So
That's
Ryan
why I
says,
posted them on my personal because I was like, I don't think anybody else has posted this yet, so I'm gonna do it first.
Ryan says, "What's an HHN?" You
Um,
get out of here with your silliness.
happy hello. I can't think of an N word.
What'd you say? Happy hello
I couldn't think of an N word that would go with it.
nighty night.
Happy hello nighty night. That's it.
Yeah.
Ryan's
So
shush for safety.
Ryan, just for safety, yeah. Oh gosh. So, oh yeah, I'm live on Twitch. I just got my notification. So Twitch, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna bring the website up here. Give me a second, and we'll kind of check out the website. Obviously, I mean, me and you, we got to experience the Beetlejuice house.
Oh, yeah.
So here is the website in all of its glory. I'm sure, Emily, you're excited for the return of Beetlejuice.
It was my
Just
favorite house
slightly.
from last year. It's my baby. It's my Beetle Man.
And so, well, it's interesting. We got the nights September 3rd, so they are starting it super early.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend, or before Labor Day weekend. And then the other thing that I posted on Twitter that was really interesting is this right here. It says Universal will continue to monitor the environment and implement enhanced health and safety procedures for its operation of Halloween Horror Nights this fall. And then they say specific details will be shared closer to the event's debut. So, with everything going on with the COVID vaccine and, things starting to get back to normal, it'll be. I saw an Orange County, as in like Orlando, Orange County, mentioned something about they lifted the mask mandate in Texas already. The governor out there, he's lost his mind, but I think I forgot who it was, but somebody mentioned when we could see the mask mandate lifted here in Orlando, and I think it was like late June, early July. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, but even if they lift a mask mandate, that doesn't mean that these parks that are private property are going to do that.
Yeah, because there were a lot of parks in Texas. Like I think some of the Six Flags parks in Texas, they went out and they said no, we're going to keep all of our safety protocols, even though the governor of Texas went and said the mask mandate's being lifted, everything's open at 100%. Yeah, it'll be interesting with Halloween Horror Nights. Given September, I'm hoping things will be back to somewhat of a sense of normalcy. I know there was a lot of discussion, and I think even you, me, and Barry had this discussion of we'll still definitely being where if Halloween Horror Nights happens this year, which obviously it is now, we'll still be wearing masks.
Well, yeah, I mean, Barry and I have talked about that, like, to an extent in the past, and just, sure, if there's a vaccine, sure, if there's a lifted mask mandate, like, what have you. Again, we come back to, this is private property.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they feel like. I'm pretty sure, that we would probably still be wearing a mask at the event, and that's just for your own safety and the actor's safety. Somebody commented on my post that I posted the pictures that were on the website, and they were like, oh, it looks like the plexiglass has been removed. And I was like, I mean, if you're going to take promotional pictures, I figure that you would probably take out anything plexiglass that would be like a shiny reflective in your pictures. But that doesn't mean that they're gone. That's just showing that, even in the commercial, like Beetlejuice doesn't have a mask on when he's wearing one in the house, and that's just to show promotional stuff. That doesn't mean that just because you see Beetlejuice without a mask on in the video, just because you don't see plexiglass in the picture, doesn't mean that it's not there anymore. So I think we're going to still have a lot of the safety features that we saw at the HHN Light or whatever you want to call it from last year with pulsing and maybe a reservation system, but we don't know yet. So
yeah. They just announced that it was happening, the dates, and that Beetlejuice was returning. That was that was the gist of the announcements. And I just pulled up the calendar here. So as you can see,
the hell weeks.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Give it.
Seven.
There's
7 hell weeks.
What they call the HHN, I guess community calls. Yeah, the scare actors mainly. What they call hell weeks, and that's just straight continuous HHN Wednesday through Sunday. So
and then 1 week Tuesday through Sunday.
Yeah, and then this week down here, Halloween week is Tuesday through Sunday.
Like, you don't think we're not going to be there on that Tuesday? Okay.
Yeah. You give me all the dates and we'll be there, Universal. You know this. So yeah, there's the calendar. And again, starts September 3rd, runs through October 31st. Halloween's on what, a Sunday? Yeah, Halloween's on a Sunday this year.
That's why they're ending it on Sunday, yeah.
So I don't really think they could add any days like they have years past. It would be like...
Unless they open up Tuesdays.
Yeah, unless they did like a Tuesday or something like that. So, but then you come over here, and here's obviously here's the Beetlejuice. You can click on it, and gives you a little description of the Beetlejuice house. Says he'll torment you as you wander checkerboard hallways and abandon you to your fate in the Lost Souls room. And then, of course, they did the video, which I won't play because it'll probably be really loud. And then they have all the different pictures of all the areas of the house, which, like I said, we got to experience. Yeah, so there's the website. And I think that was it, really, as far as...
Nothing else.
Nothing else. No ticket information yet. Nothing, in regards to that sort of thing.
I know a lot of people are, like, panicking over having a frequent fear or not.
Yeah, that's been a big discussion, whether frequent fear is going to be a thing, or they keep it limited capacity.
I do think it's interesting. I'm just looking at the website right now that they do list scare zones.
Oh, on the...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me go back here. Give me a second. Halloween haunted houses and more. Yeah, because they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 houses. 5 scare zones. Obviously, all your rides will be open.
And then 1 show.
Yeah, and this is what was interesting was there is one show, and obviously with everything that went on with Academy of Villains, all the allegations that came out with them, we probably
They're
won't be.
done. No, they're
We
done. They
we
got a confirmation from Universal that they're done.
so is this one
Marathon
live
of Mayhem?
entertainment going to be another Marathon of Mayhem?
Probably,
Which
because it's
I
probably the
would,
safest thing to do.
or I vaguely remember, wasn't Marathon of Mayhem kind of a surprise announcement for 2019?
It feels like 17 years ago.
I know, but wasn't it like I remember
I think they
Marathon of
just
Mayhem
rolled it
being
out, like with all the other. I usually they'll do like just scare zones and like the entertainment. They'll just kind of shove out there. It's more the houses that they space
yeah.
out. So I think it was just rolled out with the rest of the scare zone and entertainment.
Yes.
If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I don't really remember that far back.
Adam,
I
what
do
happened
not
to
have
AOV?
that much time.
Yeah, it's a lot of allegations came out against them.
Do not have that much time.
Yeah, so I'm sure if you researched it online, you'd be able to find more information about what happened with them. But yeah, we got one live entertainment slot. I'd be cool with, we all loved Marathon of
Can you
Mayhem.
go down?
I'm going down. Merchandise and dining. I'm guessing tribute store
Tribute stores, character dining.
and scare actor dining, which will be interesting. And then that's it. That's pretty much it for the website.
Yeah.
10 houses, 5 scare zones, your rides and attractions, and then you got the one live entertainment venue, which will most likely probably be a new Lagoon show.
Yeah. I'm gonna get real hyped in the Beetlejuice section. I'm just telling you right now.
Sam says, "I want my Mold-O-Matics."
Oh god. You can use them as a weapon now in the scare zone.
Who gave you this idea?
My brain. You just hit people with it. It's fine.
So really quick, guys, if you're watching in the live chat, be sure to say hi. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Emily and myself don't really have an agenda. We're here to chat with you guys. So
you could have just left it at that, just in general.
We're just kind of hanging out,
We just don't have an agenda. We have
don't
no
have
idea
an
what
agenda.
we're doing.
We have no idea what we're doing. We're professionals. So
long-time listener, first-time caller.
Dee Dee's in the house. What's up, Dee Dee?
Dee Dee. I don't know, man. I'm just hyped. I can't swear right now, but I'm really freaking hyped.
Yeah, it felt good. It was like I said when we first started the live stream, it just felt I was, like I said, the smile on my face was huge, and it felt good to get this announcement. That's the simplest way I could put it.
I mean, I knew that we were probably getting Beetlejuice back, but it's just nice because it's like the house I've wanted for a really long time, and it was like a dream come true to like actually go through it. So like now that other people that didn't get that opportunity now have that opportunity to go through it, like I'm just happy for them because if they're as big as a fan as I am, like it's a dream come true house.
Dee Dee asked, do you know if either of the other houses are coming back? I've seen all sorts of speculation about
my friend and
brides.
creative.
Yeah. Brides and Tooth Fairy.
Apparently they're supposed to be getting plussed, whatever that means.
Yeah, I saw that. I forgot who posted that on Twitter, but somebody posted that they're supposed to be getting enhancements.
I mean, which would make sense though, because if you've already had a good chunk of like your locals and everything that's already gone through them, you're probably going to have then your locals go to the houses that they haven't experienced yet.
Sure.
So how do we drive traffic back into the houses that they've already experienced? Add more stuff.
Yeah, I think if I personally, if just my opinion, if I only had to pick one to come back, it would probably be, gosh, that's tough.
I think Billy was the only one that got scrapped though. I think everything else that was either announced or rumored is good.
Brides and Tooth Fairy were both really solid houses, each kind of in their own unique way.
Yeah.
But if I personally had to pick one to go, to the chopping block, it would probably be Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, sorry.
I like the house. The story for that house was fantastic. Just the way the story was delivered in that house, in the house. But I when I look at a haunted house, I look at scares, and I think in Brides, the scares.
Oh, I'm the opposite. I didn't think I ever really got scared in Brides. I liked
really?
Brides aesthetic wise, and like I'm like, yeah, she deserves her own house. We love her. But not like if I went through too scary. Wow,
Too scary. What's that?
Tooth Fairy. It was too scary. I would actually get a lot of good scares in there. So scare wise, I would have to pick Tooth Fairy. But if I'm going like she deserves this, she's waited so long for her own house, I have to go with Brian.
Yeah. Adam says Bill and Ted making a reprise would be awesome. Yeah,
Don't
that
hold
would
your
be
breath.
amazing, Adam. I would love to see it. With the new Bill and Ted movie that just came out.
I just want Jason Perry in old age makeup doing his best.
That would be amazing.
I'm gonna actually text him right now. Hold on.
What spot do you think the puppet house will be going in?
Tents in the back.
Yeah, I think I heard
like where Nightingale's is.
Speculation that puppet house is going to be one of the tent houses. But
yep.
We'll see. Adam says, do you think any of these houses rumored for last year, like Billie Eilish, will come to fruition this year?
So the fact that the Billie Eilish set pieces were auctioned off from a storage unit is gonna be a no. So we're gonna say no with that one. I think everything else was safe though.
Yeah. The Billie Eilish house, which was apparently the Shrek house, from what we heard, saw,
which apparently still stuff back there because they're still only running one theater. And that's why the wait times are still really high for Shrek.
Oh, for Shrek?
So I don't know what they're doing back there. Maybe they are constructing the 10th house back there. Who knows what it is? But that second theater hasn't opened, so I'm figuring that they're still playing in there.
But yeah, as far as the Billie Eilish house, I know. You said, Emily, I can't keep up on the I heard that some of the props were
my brother from another
something.
podcast, Humbrello Hunter. He actually, I don't know how he found them because he's just an HHN god. But he found like pictures of whoever was doing it at an auction, and there was like, for example, it was like a headboard for a bed, and it was like carved in there like lyrics and like certain things that I guess she like keeps diaries of like sleep paralysis shit. It's really weird. But the stuff from her diaries is like carved into the headboard, which is how people like made the connection with the lyrics and like the stuff that she writes down that it was from the house, which I think is cool detail to be in like a house. You're not probably looking for stuff like that, but if somebody bought it, I mean, more power to them if that's what they wanted.
I know nothing about Billie Eilish. I've heard a few of her songs. And so when she started, when the rumors started flying of her possibly having a house at HHN, I tried to brush up a little bit more on her. I know there were people that were like really anti having a Billie Eilish house.
But people were anti having Alice Cooper house too. And I'm like, Alice Cooper was more of a horror icon than she is. So
yeah. But the more I've studied her and read up on her, she's an interesting person. And I was intrigued by what they could have done because some of her music videos are really weird. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they're so much horror-y, but they're just weird.
Yeah. So, I don't, it'll be interesting to see what goes into the Shrek building if the Billie Eilish house isn't coming back.
I figure they'll put something in there. I just don't know what it is.
Jason says, I hope they do The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. I would like to see that.
Aren't those rights still held by WB?
Conjuring? I think so.
Who did it was WB, right? That did the tour out in
Yeah.
California.
California. Yeah.
So they still hold the rights for Conjuring.
I saw an article and I shared it on Twitter of a I think it was supposed to be the director for a gosh, I'm drawing a blank. The video game BioShock.
Oh, I would love a BioShock house.
And he was like, yeah, the reason because the movie didn't happen is he's like, I approached Universal and he was like, Universal didn't want to do like a $200 million BioShock movie horror flick. And I was like, well, what about a Halloween Horror Nights haunted house? It'd definitely be a lot cheaper than $200 million.
Well, my like video game franchise I'm just still waiting on. I'll probably still be waiting on until the HBO show comes out is Last of Us. Yeah. I would love a Last of Us house. I would die for a Last of Us house.
I mean, we've seen Universal dabble in the video games, with Resident Evil, and what else?
They did Resident Evil. They've done Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, yeah, that was the other one.
I can't remember anything else. Video game, maybe related.
I can't think of any. Yeah, so they are open to the video game genre. I just think it has to be a like Resident Evil's huge, so and that's BioShock is just still such a BioShock never got that big, if that makes sense.
I think it got big in a sense of a video game standpoint.
It did.
I don't think it got big in like a horror genre standpoint that would be like a no-brainer to put into a haunted attraction.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only reason that
what's your in the chat, what's your guys' dream HHN house? Let us know in the chat. I want to know some.
I'm gonna say my other one to help kickstart this.
Yeah, what's your other dream house, Emily? Lay it on us.
Original OG Psycho. Because I know we had like the one back in the 90s, but like I didn't go to HHN then. So I would like a Psycho house.
Old man here. I vaguely remember that house. It was...
Yeah. I saw like the blueprints and stuff for it, but which would have been cool to go through it, but obviously I didn't go then. So
Adam says Silence of the Lambs. That'd
be fun.
That would be a really interesting house.
It'd be more like off-putting, I think, than like
Gremlins.
Scary. Yeah, but everybody keets saying Gremlins every year when they don't know what to put in there.
Yeah, Gremlins is
like the default.
Yeah, the Gremlins rumor doesn't seem to die. It seems to come up every year that it's going to be a house, and then it's not, and then it disappoints everyone. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to see a Gremlins house because I think what they could do with puppets and stuff like that with the creatures would be really cool. Sam says the stuff Return of the Living Dead and Frankenhooker. You're gonna have to tell me what Frankenhooker is.
That's why Google exists.
Yeah, I'm gonna. And he says Toxic Avenger.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's Psycho House. Yeah, that Psycho House would be really cool. I would, hit all of my ones that I wanted. Like I've gotten my Poltergeist house, I've gotten my Shining house, I've gotten my Exorcist house, and now my brain's like, oh no, what do we do? Yeah.
So now my brain's like, okay, Psycho, that's it. That's all I got.
Yep. And then Michael's just excited for everything. He's like, let's see, Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure, Halloween Horror Nights.
The Velocicoaster is not a haunted house.
Now, do you guys remember when they had Halloween Horror Nights at Islands of Adventure and there were those like raptor creatures in the bushes in the Jurassic Park section? That was an absolutely wild year for Halloween Horror Nights. And
it will never happen again.
No, that's the thing is I don't think we'll ever see Halloween Horror Nights at Islands of Adventure again. But man, what a crazy event that was! The Triceratops encounter was like I think it was body collect. The Discovery Center was the body collector's house, and it was such a weird, crazy year that year. So, and then Jason
everybody wants a Hellraiser house, and I'm like.
Yep.
Should we go over the subject matter of Hellraiser one more time?
Our good friend Brian from Inside Universal, he's always been adamant about a Hellraiser house.
Well, wasn't Hellraiser like property in a house? It was like All Night Dying, right? If I remember correctly. Someone might need to correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure in one of the all-night die-ins there was a section of Hellraiser. Could be wrong. I'm going to do research now.
Yeah, this
Please
is what
hold.
Google's for, Emily.
Please hold.
While you're at it, look up Frankenhooker for
No. No, I won't. No, I don't think I will.
Yeah, Hellraiser would be an interesting house. If it happened. But everybody plan on being at Halloween Horror Nights this year?
It was an all-night die-in, take 2, and Sweet 16.
Okay, yeah.
I know my Horror Nights.
We know our Horror Nights. We're special.
I didn't go that year, but I know.
God, it sucks because I've, not to toot my own horn, but, I've been going for so many years that
this will be my 10th year.
All the years just blur together for me. Like, I envy those that have only gone like 4 or 5 years, 10 years. And
you gotta start rocking your rocking chair and be like, back in my day.
Back in my day. You young whippersnappers.
There used to be a show called Bill and Ted.
But no, I have people, because people tell me, or they ask me, they're like, oh, you've been, when I tell people I've been going to HHN since, the mid 90s, and they're like, oh, you must remember this house from 98. And I'm like,
and you're like, no.
No. I can't even remember what the hell the houses were last year.
I actually struggle with that. Some people will be like, what was in that like tent last year? And I'm like, oh no. What was in there? And it could have been like my favorite house too. And I'm like, I do not know.
Yeah.
Crap.
It's tough, and I envy those that can that are just like encyclopedias and they can pull up oh yeah, I remember this house, this scene, and it's just,
I have weird Horror Nights knowledge. I didn't go Sweet 16, but for some reason my brain's like, there's a Hellraiser part.
Yeah.
But then I can't remember what was in the tents 3 years ago. So
Jason says Bloody Mary was Bloody Mary was
I missed that year.
She was an icon that I think was underused. Bloody Mary,
she can never be used again.
Yeah. If we're gonna talk about icons, Bloody Mary was the director's always been my favorite. Sorry,
Same.
Jack, I love you. But there's always I've always wanted if every time somebody asks me if I could have besides Jack, if I could have any HHN icon come back, it's always been the director. I love that character. I would love to see him come back and do something with him. So
I mean, I want an all ladies year. And I know I say that as a lady, but I just think it would be badass if
you mean icon
Chance, Lady Luck, Bloody Mary, Storyteller, who have you, just full force Terror Queen.
Yeah.
It's just all ladies here. I want that.
That would be kind of cool. That would be cool.
No more boys.
Just kick them out for a year.
Girls get stuff done.
Girls night out.
That's the tagline, hashtag girls night out.
Why not?
Oh no. Wait, what's the one this year? Don't go alone. I go to Horror Nights by myself all the time. Don't tell me what to do.
Adam says, I've only been once. What year did you go, Adam? Let me know. We'll talk about it. Maybe.
We'll decide if it was a good year or not.
Yeah. But as far as HHN 30 goes, it's happening. We're all incredibly excited, to get back to it. Because it's our happy place, between myself, Emily, Barry, we're there, give or take, just about every night, every year.
Well, you're there, give or take, every night. Barry and I are there every night.
Every night. He said he went in 2017.
Oh, that was James's first year.
Oh, well, let's talk about that. How was that? That was
he hated it because he didn't do horror when he met me, and I was just like, no, it's fine. They're not that scary. And then the first house I took him through was Scarecrow.
Oh, that was the year of Scarecrow. Yeah, that was a good start. Because that was the first year for
he did not do well.
Dead Waters was that year.
Yes, Dead Waters.
Saw, Ash versus Evil Dead.
Oh, we love Ash vs. Evil Dead, though. That's like
The
a guilty
Shining.
pleasure.
Yeah. That was
That
actually
was
a
a
good
good
year to
year.
start. Yeah, that was a good year to start your HHN journey. So,
Mine was 2011. That's still
Jason
my
likes
favorite
your
year.
idea, Emily. Ladies' Night of
I'm gonna
Horror.
patent it. I'm gonna go talk to Blake Braswell right now.
We'll pitch it if we get to do the podcast with him this year. Ladies' Night of HHN.
I'm gonna copyright it. Nobody can take this from me.
Chris says, when might we get ticket options?
When they put them on sale.
God, you're such a smart ass.
It's just, we have no idea. I
Sorry,
wish I could
Chris.
tell you. Hi, Chris.
you know,
we love you. We have no idea.
I think normally, I mean, given with all the crap that's going on in the world with COVID and everything, but I think normally we get ticket.
Like summer?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there?
We usually get a fair amount of announcements before we get any sort of ticket information, if I can remember properly from years past.
Should I go through my email to look at the receipts of when I bought them? Because I always buy them when they go
Just
on sale.
Go look for when you bought your frequent fear pass last year.
Hold on. No, 2 years ago. Jeez.
Yeah, Sam says not before June. I would, yeah. Like I said, we usually get, again, everybody's in this this mindset of things could still be different. Yes, we got Halloween Horror Nights. Yes, it's happening. Are we going to get an announcement schedule that's pretty normal with the haunted houses? Nobody.
My ticket confirmation is from August.
For your frequent fear pass?
Mm-hmm.
And did you get that when it came out? When they were
Yep, I always buy it the day that it goes online because I'm always scared for some reason that they're going to sell out. Because
like,
that's how my take my money.
It's going to sell out.
No, I literally do. So that's the only reason I know exactly the day it goes on sale, because I'm a psycho.
Jason says, what has been the most elaborate haunted house at HHN that you've seen?
How much time do we have?
Oh boy.
Winter's Night 21.
Yeah, that was a really elaborate house.
Dead Waters.
Dead Waters, yeah. The set pieces on that were pretty impressive with the whole ship and everything, the boat and everything.
I'm trying to think now. Honestly,
yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, set pieces.
Ghostbusters.
The big movies, the big movie houses, because they go all out on immersing you in those movie sets.
Jack
yeah,
Presents.
Sam says maybe The Shining. The Shining had some pretty impressive set
Carnival
pieces
Graveyard
too.
is a good one too.
Yep,
there's
Carnival
just so many
Graveyard.
good. It's like hard to
It's
choose.
hard.
You're
It
just
really
like
is.
all my babies. I love all of them equally.
Yeah.
Except for you. There's one of you
Now-
that I don't like, and that's the 3D houses.
Yeah, there's been gosh, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but there was one 3D house one year that I liked.
Was it? I thought you were gonna say I did not like, and I was gonna be like, is it Lunatic's Playground? Because
No, it wasn't that.
I liked I think the only one that I only liked was The In-Between, which was 21.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the name of it, but the Alice in Wonderland one.
And even since we've been getting the tent houses, even the tent houses have stepped up. Because
you don't feel like you're in a tent.
Yeah, well, that was the thing with the tent houses. I don't know how many years ago, but you used to be able to tell that you were in one of the tent houses.
Just look up.
Yeah, but recent years, like I can't think of an example. They've really stepped up the tent houses with their.
Well, not even so much tents. I think it's 2013 was with American Werewolf in London. That was the first year that we ever had a complete ceiling in a house. Yeah. I remember that. So from 2013 with having, and that was still a soundstage. So now from going from there onwards into tents, like now you have full ceilings in houses, whether that's a soundstage or a tent, and you really just can't tell.
Yeah,
like once you're in there.
They've done a really good job recent years of immersing you in those tent houses so it doesn't feel like you're in a tent. Chris, we kind of chatted about this earlier, about Brides and Tooth Fairy
I think they're there to stay.
coming back. I think they're going to stay. If one
If
of
it
them
costs money to take something down.
Yeah. You got to remember, allegedly a lot of these houses were ready to go. They were ready to go. So I think a lot of them were just buttoned up and shut up and locked up until this year, until 2021, when they're gonna open it up. And we've heard discussion that there's going to be enhancements to them. The Beetlejuice house, the
I
Brides.
think Brides and Tooth Fairy only had the enhancements. I think Beetlejuice is staying the way that it is. Yeah.
I was actually gonna ask you that. Do you think we'll see any additions, enhancements to the Beetlejuice house?
I mean, I know for a fact that God, what's his name? Alec Baldwin would not sign off on his rights. Mm-hmm. So that's why you won't see Adam in the house. I'm trying to think. Give me a second. I'll come back to you.
Yeah, Billie Eilish.
I'm trying to think of what I
know. Chris, yeah, we discussed Billie Eilish. As Emily mentioned, apparently
you're gonna have to go back to Replayland.
Set pieces were sold off for her house, apparently. Yeah. So it doesn't look like we'll be seeing a Billie Eilish house this year, and that will be the one that's replaced, if anything. So
the only thing I can think of possibly in the Beetlejuice house that maybe reworked, and I think it honestly, I don't know. I don't work for creative. Don't listen to me. But I'm just going off of my own brain and theories right now.
Well, I mean,
the only thing I thought that we were missing though out of that house was like the staircase, like Shake Sonora scene. Yeah, that's the only thing that like I felt that was missing from the house. Which spoiler, don't listen right now if you don't want one. The end of the house is basically a black room with a sandworm scare, which it's cool to see the sandworm. Don't get me wrong, but it just feels like shit. Where do we put the sandworm? And it was like, put her here because we didn't have enough time to build the staircase scene. Yeah. And so and I noticed that they kind of, I don't know if maybe it was like guest feedback or something like that, or maybe they just didn't have an actor for day one of the Beetlejuice house because it took place on a Saturday and Sunday. Mm-hmm. But when we went back on the Sunday, there was like a final Beetlejuice scare put in. So I'm not sure if maybe they got guest feedback of like, that's it, that's the end of the house. Because it was kind of like an abrupt stop. It was weird. Yeah. So I kind of, if that's what you're asking me, what I hope gets put in is the staircase scene, and then a sandworm scare maybe to like get you to run out of the house. But
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, they opened it up for a couple days, so they were able to get they were asking a lot of people to take surveys and stuff too. Yeah, they were asking surveys, so it'll be interesting to see if we get any, not necessarily enhancements, but tweaks and changes. And I just hope the plexiglass is gone because I don't want to get into spoilers for it for people that are watching, but the Beetlejuice house,
I just ruined the end of the house.
Yeah, so why not? No. But no, the Beetlejuice house, from what I saw the few times I went through it, it relies heavily on the interaction and timing. And whereas I mentioned this in our podcast, I think when we were talking about Beetlejuice in Brides and Tooth Fairy, I didn't notice the plexiglass a whole lot. I did notice it in Beetlejuice.
I think the problem with Beetlejuice, and this is like blasphemy for me to even say this, but I don't think I've said it on our podcast. I think I might have said it on another one. I think that house was made as a conga line house. And when I say conga line house, I mean that, if Beetlejuice comes out and says a 15-second thing of dialogue, that's for everyone walking in the slow conga line to look and stare at him, watch him do his thing, and keep moving down the slow conga line. Yeah. When you have maybe a group of 4 of you and you're being pulsed, and then you have a team member going, come on, walk faster. And you're like, but I want to watch him say the thing. It kind of gets a little awkward because then they can't really come out and not maybe step in front of you, but kind of like get in your face a little bit to make you pay attention to them because of the plexiglass. So that's kind of like my only issue with it, is that that entire house relies so heavily on dialogue because you have Like Miss Argentina has a whole like 25-second piece of dialogue that she has to get through. There's multiple Beetlejuices that have 15 to 20 seconds of dialogue, and that does not happen in houses, like, ever.
Yeah.
So
and that's what I was saying with, some of the Beetlejuice segments. He has such a dialogue heavy part. You're staring at him, and there's this giant piece of plexiglass.
yeah.
Whereas
And they can't move that much either.
Yeah, I think they were very limited with their movement. So, I hope for the sake of that house that we don't have the plexiglass and, the Beetlejuice.
I mean, I called it the claustrophobia corner when you like got to the end of the house and it was like the wedding scene and he's just like literally shoved in a corner. And I'm like, this cannot be comfortable for you all day long.
Yeah. Chris says I was never able to get a virtual queue space.
Oh, God. I don't know how we got them.
Yeah.
To be honest,
we had fun getting those.
We panicked. We were just like, oh, let's just get all of us. Oh, let's just get afternoon slots. And we're just like
really, every
guys,
time I refreshed it. Yeah, every time I refreshed it, the time spaces just started to disappear. And I was like, okay, I'm just getting this time.
I've never had a panic like that since like Rise of the Resistance. It felt like Rise of the Resistance. And I was like, am I going to get a boarding group today?
Yeah. No, it was...
Well, the first day Barry and I went there, they were kind of like, they didn't really say like if they were even doing it, like, or what was happening. So we just like kind of kept looking on our phones. And thank God I kept going like back and forth.
Yeah.
And when I went back the next time and then it was like, times were up and I just went Barry. And like you can watch our vlog from that because the phone just goes down from Barry recording. And that's Barry just being like, nope, we got to get a return time right now.
Be right back. Hold on.
And then I was bad because I like got my return time. And then I said very loudly, they're up. And everyone's like, oh, I already had mine and I was a bad person. Sorry.
Jason says, do you think Mike Aiello might come back to the HHN team again?
Well, he's working on Epic Universe now.
Yeah, he moved over to Epic Universe. So I was really sad to see him go, but I was on the flip side. I was extremely happy for him to be.
It's an amazing opportunity for him.
Yeah, I would love to see him come back, but I don't. The current team is doing a really fantastic job. You could tell just with Brides and Tooth Fairy that was this year HHN 30 will be the first year where Aiello really didn't have a hand in anything, and you could tell mainly with Tooth Fairy had such a different feel. For those of us that have been going to Halloween Horror Nights for such a long time, Tooth Fairy to me, and I've been going for a while, had such a different feel. I don't know, maybe somebody else, just the overall feel of that house just felt different to me. The way it was very story driven. You could tell that and it'll be interesting to see all of the houses that they have up their sleeves this year. But you can definitely tell that a different team created the houses this year, and Aiello didn't directly have a hand in it. So
I mean, I look at it this way, like, okay, let's sit you, me, and Barry down, and you give all three of us a story prompt. We're all going to give you 3 different stories, and it doesn't, and not so much does not matter who's running the show, but I think whoever you have in there and whoever's not so much the head of the department, because that was like the nice thing about Mike though all the time was that Mike was always, you could watch old Horror Nights videos with like maybe like Michael Roddy or someone. They're like, I am the face of Horror Nights. And like all the time, Mike Aiello was like, hey, no, like it's about me, but it's also about my team. My team does so much. And all the time it's my team. So I think, obviously he was pretty much the ringleader when it came to keeping everything together. Yeah. But I also think probably knowing that he was probably going into Epic Universe, that's kind of when he kept taking steps back and being like, no, you guys go ahead and produce things, which I think set them up in a nice way. Because now if he's not there to overwatch everything, that gives them an opportunity that they already know how they can grow and how they can create content. So I appreciate that. And, even if all the people that were doing it right now decide to leave tomorrow, you're still going to have people that are eager about it. You're still going to have people that have different ideas, and
Sure.
you wouldn't maybe go like, oh, this is not an Aiello year. This is not a Blake Braswell year. Like, like you wouldn't be able to really tell, because I think the amount of content that comes out from just the creative team in general matches and just goes beyond more than we could probably comprehend. Yeah. So it's just interesting to me that, like, not so much people like prefer one over the other, because I really can't tell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went on a tangent.
No, that's fine. I love Aiello. He's an awesome dude. So humble, so just down to earth, awesome dude. The several times I've ran into him at Halloween Horror Nights.
That whole family is amazing.
Yeah, the summer, the whole crew. They're such awesome people. I have so much respect for them. It was really cool last year. I got to watch, I think it was on the final night of HHN. Well, not last year.
You mean 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Oh, no.
The last Halloween Horror Nights. I think it was on the final night. I got to watch Marathon of Mayhem with Mike and his family, kind of in the same area, and Summer was there, and it was a really cool experience to be able to do that. So
they're good people.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he's working on Epic Universe. What he's doing with that, I don't know. Epic Universe is rumored to have a Universal Monsters section, so
Mike's over there like, he is.
Mike's like over there in the corner like, hey, no HHN, but no, who knows? But I'm sure whatever he does, he's done not only Halloween Horror Nights, he's had his hands in so many fantastic additions to Universal Orlando Resort. So I'm beyond excited that he excuse me, that he's going to have a hand in Epic Universe. So I'm losing my voice here. I'm out of drink.
Is it Mountain Dew?
It was Coke Zero.
I'm disappointed in you.
I don't have any Mountain Dew. I need to go get some.
Would you like me to bring you some?
Yeah, bring me some Mountain Dew. Yeah, Sam. I've listened to Aiello. What's his podcast called? Gosh, you'll say. Let me know. Yeah,
I got you. I can't remember the name of it either.
Yeah, Jason, it'll be interesting to see what they do. He says, I know we have to social distance at this event. Again, it all depends on so many variables with this vaccine, and it's too early to tell. The fact that
no idea.
Yeah. I was thinking just the fact that Universal had the confidence to announce Halloween Horror Nights, that tells us something. So we're grounded. Yeah, that's the name of Mike Aiello's podcast. He has, I've listened to several of his episodes on there. Really fun podcasts with all sorts of good. He had one of the people that from like one of the the people that make like horror themed shirts or something on there, and I listened to that one. That was a good episode. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. I just want to get on here on you. Emily was like, what about me?
Oh no, in my meme fashion, I just sent the John Travolta gif of him being like,
yeah,
sir.
But no, a while back, I forgot what it was. It was some breaking theme park news. I popped up here. I did a live stream, and I asked you guys if you liked it. You did. So I told you guys I was going to do more. Whether Emily or Barry joins me, that's fine.
You don't have to give me an excuse to talk about Horror Nights.
Exactly. So I figured this would be a cool way to get on, and this is mainly for people that are fans of the YouTube. We want to interact with you guys. So thank you so much.
This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you guys for the comments. We really appreciate it. That's why I do these sporadic live streams. I like bringing your guys' comments on, chatting about it, because I'm horrible at starting conversations. So your guys' comments.
That's why I'm here too.
This is why I do them. So, anyways, be sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube. Obviously with Halloween Horror Nights coming up, we will have more videos. I'm sure we'll talk about it more on the podcast. I know I teased us doing an emergency recording this weekend.
This is it. This is the emergency recording.
Yeah, I honestly could. I could just rip this and just throw it up there.
Might as well.
But we'll see. Barry's opinion matters, so we'll see what he says and kind of go from there. So
We gotta wake Barry up first, though.
Yeah, we gotta wake him up first.
Barry, please.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank
Michael,
you.
thank you. Sam, thank you.
We should just do this every time they announce a house, because I'll just be like word vomiting about it.
We can,
I got you.
I've been focusing on our YouTube. I know we've done live streams on Facebook. We're not going to do as many on Facebook. We're focusing on YouTube. So, if you have friends, family, acquaintances that have YouTube and they want to head on over to our channel, subscribe, and, all that good stuff, we'd appreciate it.
Please do.
Yeah, please do. So, alrighty, guys. Good night. Be safe. Be sure to follow us everywhere. Emily does have an article up with all the announcement information, which wasn't a whole lot.
My fingers moved very fast.
So be sure to check that out. And I am going to. We did it for a couple years ago. I'm going to bring back a Halloween Horror Nights guide. I think it's something that we should do, considering we're there every night. So I'm gonna work on getting that up. And
hashtag Team No Sleep.
Exactly. But no, I think having a Halloween Horror Nights guide is something, that we could contribute to and, get the word out there about, tips and tricks and that sort of thing. We can constantly update it and stuff like that. So I'll try and get that up on the website.
Especially this year.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be a lot of information that's going to need to get out there. So I'll work on getting that up as well. So, all right.
Cool.
Good night, guys. Be safe. Wear a mask.
Bye.
And we'll see you guys next time.